let's say we have or let's say above average is greater than equal to 50. You understand?
Yes.
Or we can say average and above. Let's just say average and above is greater than equal to 50, then below average is less than 50. So we have a status with want to put above below. So now if you look at this, there is no condition that you are seeing here, right? We are just saying that if this is, oh yeah, there's a condition. The first one is greater or equal to, the second one
Yes.
is less than or equal
Less
to.
than,
Now
yes.
I told you that if your conditions are more than one, you use ifs or nested if.
Yes.
However,
Instead.
the reason why that is not applicable here is I mentioned something yesterday that if something is not less than something, it is either greater than or equal to,
Or equal to,
right?
yes. Yes.
I said if something is either greater or equal to.
Or equal
If
to,
something is
is
greater than,
less.
is either less
Less than
than
or
or
equal
equal to,
to.
right? So if something is, it's the reason why you will not treat this as a two condition, because if something is not less than, is greater than equal to, so you can either say value if true, value if false. Do you understand? So
Yes.
if you are testing for if something is less than this, return this value. So else meaning that it is false, or it means that it is greater than or equal to. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So what value is it going to return? So if that's the case, we are then going to say we'll use our if and we'll just type. You see, I mentioned that Excel is really, it's very
Yes.
nice too. They tell you how you write the formula and they'll tell you what it does. So checks whether a condition is met and
Yes.
return one value if true, another value if false. So the first test I want to do is to test my first cell. Now I said that for cell referencing purpose, I'm going to put the $sign in front of the column because I don't
Yes.
want the column to change, since that I'm going to be checking for every row in column C. Value, so the logical operation will be if it is less than 50, which 61 is greater than 50, right? So that's why it's telling you false. You can see the false here, right?
Yes. Yes.
Can you see it? See the false? Or I can say if this is greater than or equal to 50, and it will tell me true.
True.
Then if it is true, return average and above. Then if it is false, return below average. And you can see it's already telling me what it is going to return for this particular cell. And I'll now click on OK, and I'll just click and drag. And you can see it has worked perfectly. Does
Yes.
that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
So the second example is if I want to grade this student by A, B, C, D, and so on and so forth. Now, I would say for A, I think I would say for A is about 85 and above, I think. 85 above. It's been a while. I really don't know how they used to grade people any longer. What? Um, so I think B is 70 to 84. I don't know. Yeah, 70 or yeah, 70 to 84. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
again, I'm not sure. Then C is between 52, 69. Then between, I think 40, or is it 45 to 49 is D. Between 36 to 39 is E, and less than, so below 35 is F, right?
Yes.
We've gotten our grade, and we have gotten our range of values that belongs to a particular range. Now, how do we mathematically represent these ranges of values? So above 85 will be, no, I think it is 85 and above, 85 and above, right? So above 85 and above will be 85 inclusive, that will be greater or equal to 85, or you can just say greater than 84. Is that not?
Yes.
Is that greater than or equal to 85 or
Okay.
greater than 84?
Hmm.
So anything greater than 84 is what? 85 and above,
85.
right?
Yes.
Or if you say greater than or equal to 85, it means that you are including 85 and above. So mathematically, these two are one and the same. Now for the second one is 70 to 84. So it is greater or equal to 70 and less than or equal to 84. That is one way to go about it. Or you can say greater than 69, less than 85. These two are one and the same.
Yes.
So this will be greater than 49, less than 70.
See.
Or you can say greater or equal to 50, less than or equal to 69.
69.
So the same thing we do, greater than 44, less than 50.
I think
And
greater
this will
than.
be greater than or equal to 45.
Okay.
Sorry?
Okay, yes, fine, yeah, yeah.
Then this will be greater than 34,
34,
less than 40.
less than 40.
Or greater than or equal to
Equal to
35,
35,
less than or
less than
equal
or
to
equal to
39.
39.
Then this is less than 35, right?
Yes.
So this is less than 35. There's no basic, or sorry. This is greater, less than or equal to
Yes.
34. So it's less than or equal to 34. So anything less than. So this is how we can mathematically represent it. So you can either choose, so we'll say math representation, math rep 1, we say math rep 2. And it means that anyone you take is fine. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Now we'll now start applying our condition. Now we can, the other thing we can actually do is say, if we choose to pick, so this is for, this represents this our range. Now if you say greater than 84. This works. If you say greater than 69, this works. If you say greater than 49, it works. If you say greater than 44, if you say greater than 34, and if you say less than 35, this works. Now, or I can come here and say greater or equal to 85. I'll say greater or equal to 70. I'll say greater or equal to 50, greater or equal to 45, greater or equal to 35, and less than or equal to 34. Now, I can use either of these conditions, each of them. So this is what happens. Let me show you what automatically happens. Anything greater than or equal to 85 is A. If you say greater than or equal to 70, right?
Yes.
It's going to give you all the value 71 to 84. The reason is because 85 is already taken. Do you get?
Yes.
So this will give you from 70 to 70 this will be 70 to 84. Why? 85 is already taken. 85 and above is already taken. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yes.
That is what implicitly it means. So anything 85 is A, 86 is A. So it's already taken. So you don't necessarily need to specify that that it must be greater than or equal to 70 and less than or equal to 84. So this implicitly, this is what this means. That everything, so if I'm just saying greater than or equal to 70, because I've already specified 85 to be A, this is going to stop at 84 automatically, or like I said, implicitly. That is what, by implication, that's what it means. So the same thing, if I say greater than or equal to 50, so it will be 50 to what? 69.
69.
Because 70 to 84 is already taken.
Already taken, yeah.
Do you get?
Yes.
Yeah, so I can either use this as my my condition, or I'll use this as my condition. Now I can use nested if. So it will be nested if, or I can use ifs. And I showed you about 2 to 3 different iterations of this. So let me just click and drag. Now we will now write our nested if. Now I said, if we're writing nested if, we should write the function by hand. We don't need to go to insert function, because we might not get because we're actually going to be doing a lot of typing, and it wouldn't make sense to implement nested if using your insert function here. So I would say, because I already know that it's an if statement, I'll say equal to, I'll now type if. You can see it's giving me a highlight, a logical test. If true, if false. So I'll say if this, right, is what? Is greater than 84. I can pick any of these conditions, either this or this, since we've established the fact. I'll now say return A. And so if I want to type A, I'll put inverted comma, because A is a text and it's going to return an error if I don't. Then that is my first condition. Now value if false, because I want to write a nested if, because I want to write multiple conditions, I'll now type if again. I'll now say if that same C3 is what? Is greater than 69. I will now say what? B. Then the same C3 is greater than 49. I will now say C.
C.
Then the same C3 is greater than 44. I will then say D, right?
C. Yes.
Then if say the same C3. Oh, sorry, apologies. Sorry, I am supposed to write an if. Sorry. After this, I'm supposed to write an if statement. Many
Okay.
apologies.
Fine.
So I'll say if, yeah, and I'll paste this. And because again I'm too lazy to type, I'll cut this. I'll say if, and I'll paste this. This last one I'll say if, and I'll say C3 is greater than 34. I will say E. Then I'm going to end it with E. Look, the last one self, I don't really need to put it. I'll just say either true or false. Remember so value if false. I don't even need to put the last one. And all I just need to do is just click on enter and a prompt to come up correcting it for me. I'll always use yes. And you can see that 61 is false in which range? This, and I've gotten C. 94 obviously A, and so on and so forth. And we have E. Do we have any F? No F, but we have E 44, E 41. Is that true? E is between, oh, sorry. What did I say my condition for E is? Oh, interesting stuff. Oh, so greater than this is this, sorry, greater than 34 is E. So it will be, oh, sorry, oh, I didn't do my grade very well. I left, so I left between 40, so what's 40 to 45? I think less than 44, right?
Yes, less than 44.
I left, so this will be between 35 to 44, I think. So I made a mistake here. So instead of me to say, I made a mistake here. So it means that, yeah, so that's what it means. So anything between 35 to 44 will be E, which is what we have here. And 98 will be A, then the last one, no F, right? Now, you can actually test it to see if you can actually go through. And so if you are doing your test to see if your formula is correct, you don't need to go through everything. Most likely, maybe you have up to 1,000 rows of data here, and you don't need to go through everything. You just need to do certain tests, like at random. Yes, you don't need to go through everything to say, okay, is my formula correct? You just do check like 10 or less than 10 output to see if it is correct, if it fits the criteria. Does that make sense?
Yes.
For the nested if again, I can apply the other logic, which is this logic. I don't know if you want me to do that or I should just leave it for you to try. So we tried this side, we can try this again. Then I'll just leave it for you to try. So maybe you should try this. I'll just give it a color. for you to try.
Wow.
Try this. It's the same thing. You just use these conditions instead of using this.
Okay.
So we've already done this. I'll say alt H. I'll say H, and I'm going to choose color. Green signifies something like done. Yeah, so we are done with this. Oh, this is a CSV file. This is interesting. Let me see the Excel workbook. Yeah. So for the ifs, right?
Yeah.
We can say apply the same logic. And the ifs, you don't necessarily need to write it yourself. You can just go to insert function and click on the select the ifs function, click on OK. Now the first logical test will be if C3 is greater than or equal to 85. So I'm going to apply this one now. Since I've done this for nested if, I'll use this
Okay.
for our ifs. So value if true will be what? A. Now I don't need to put the inverted comma. It will auto correct itself. So watch what happens. I just put A. If I click on this, if I click on tab, it's going to auto correct itself and put the inverted comma for me. So I'll say if C3 is greater
than
or equal greater
to
or equal to 70, B, and it said false. So if C3 is greater than or equal to 50, 50, then C, right?
Yes, sir.
And you can see it's already telling me true already. It's already giving me true.
Yes.
So it means that it's going on. So if C3 is greater than or equal to 45, then D. Then if C3 is greater than or equal to 35, then E. Then because there's no value if false, I have to write the last condition. If C3 is less than or equal to 34, then F. Now, because for if statement, it's only value if true, there's no value if false.
Yes.
So you can see that the result is now returning C. So this is telling me C, and I'll click on it and I will drag. Now we can compare. How do we do comparison? We'll just say equal to this, equal to this. So it shows that we are comparing, and you can see it's telling us true. So we are just saying is G3 equal to E3, and it's telling me true. Do you understand?
Yes.
If I decide to change this to J, for instance, it's going to tell me false. You understand? So this is a way you can use to compare if your result is actually the same thing with this. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, so
interesting.
Yeah, it is interesting. Now, let's say you want to stick to this particular rule, this rule, that you must include both upper and lower limits of these particular ranges. You must say this and this, or this and this. That's 70 greater than or equal to 70 and less than or equal to 84. I told you, I think I told you that's what we'll do today, hopefully. So there is a command or a function called and so and would take two conditions and it will put it to test. So and both of them has to be true. So it will take and works like this. And will take logical test. It only takes logical tests. Logical tests, comma, logical test 1, and you can add as many logical tests as you want to. Logical test 2, test 2, and so on and so forth. Now, this whatever condition you put here, all of them has to be true. Now, what this is going to return is the result of this. It will either return true or false. Now, all the logical test has to be true. Has to be true for it to return true. For the AND function to return true, I don't even know why I'm typing in caps. So I'll say all logical tests in I don't know, in AND function has to be true for AND to return true. So the result of this AND statement is either true or false. So let's test. So I'm just going to refer to this cell here. I will say equal to, and I'll say AND. And you can see the AND function. And you can see logical one, logical two. I'll say this, I will now use this condition. Okay, let me use I'll use maybe this condition because this one has two logics, right? So if C3 is greater than or equal to 70, I'll now say, comma, if C3 is less than or equal to 84. You see, it's going to return false because none of them is true. None of them is true. However, if we now say this, right?
Yes.
Greater than or equal to 50, which 61 is, less than or equal to 69, which 61 is going to return true. So we'll say equal to AND. The first logic will be C3 greater than or equal to 50, comma, C3 less than or equal to 69. This is true because 61 is greater than 59 and is less than 69. So this is going to return true because both of these conditions fit. But because for the first one that we tried, none of the conditions actually fit. So let's even say I'm going to add another this thing. I'm going to use the same AND, but this time around I'll say if C3 greater than or equal to 50, that is 61. Is it true? Yes, it's greater than 50. But if I say C3 less than or equal to 80, for instance. Oh, no, sorry. Less than or equal to 60, for instance. This condition is not true. Is that not? Because 61 is greater than 60. Is that not? So you see, it will return false. But the first condition, which is that C3 is greater than or equal to 50, is actually true. Why? Because actually C3 is greater than 50. Does that make sense? So if any of the condition is true, the result of the AND will return true. But if all of the conditions is true, the result of the AND is going to return true. If any of the conditions is false, even if it is one amongst thousands, what it's going to return is, so all of the conditions you put inside the AND function has to be true. Does that make sense? Hello?
Sorry, my mic
Can you
was
hear me?
muted. Yes.
Cool. Now, that is how the AND works. Now, there's also the OR logic, and it takes the same oh, sorry. So the OR too does the same thing, but the difference is it also returns true or false. But the difference between the AND and the OR is that you only need only one to be true for it to return true. You only need only one. Do you understand?
Yes.
Only one. Then for only one for it to return true. Then all of them has to be false for it to return false, because you are saying it's either this or that. It's either, I think I gave an analogy of food. I said, say for instance, you want to send somebody to get something, groceries for you.
Yes.
And you said, please, when you get to the grocery shop or store, I need you to get me banana and pineapple, for instance, fruits. And maybe the person will now say, what if I don't get it? Ah, please, if you don't get it, there's no need. What if I only get banana? No, I need banana and pineapple. So what is that person? What are you telling the person? Is that it's either all or none. So that's the AND logic here. So it's either banana and pineapple or don't at all. Or then you maybe the person is going to go to store and say, okay, please, can you get me banana or our pineapple? Now you are now giving the person a choice to either choose. If the person gets you banana, fine. If the person get you apple, fine.
Fine.
Either one is fine by you. So that's basically what it's using, that particular logic. So for AND, both no matter how many conditions you give that person, if you are using the AND function, everything has to be true. So it's a all or none rule. Everything has to be true. You know what they say, you know what it means by all or none, right? It's either it's going to be true or it is not going to be true.
Yes.
There's no, yeah.
That's
so
true
for
or false.
all is, yeah, so anyone, and for all statement, anyone you choose is okay by you. So that's basically the difference. And I hope it's you then have a better understanding of how to use
Ifs.
yeah, the if and ifs. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So let me give you more headache.
I don't think so. All right. That's fine.
Let me add one for you.
Okay.
So I'm going to be doing count if and count ifs.
Count if.
And count ifs.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the headache I want to give you today. But I would try as much as possible to generate enough assignment for you to do, so that you get the hang of it. It's only by assignment you'll be able to really get the hang of it.
Yes, that's right.
So so let's do our, let me see if I have let me save this for you. I have a folder for you. So this is our file. This is on today's date is what?
27.
Oh, yes. So this will be student score. This will be if, nested if, and ifs. and we did and or. So let me look for another let me see. Okay, I think I have one and I can use. So let me save this. Oh, interesting. So let me just save as. So we'll do count if and count if. Then we'll then do some if and some ifs, but hopefully in next session. Let me just take it slow because I think once we get past this and you're able to get the hang of it, you would, that's when we'll start calling you big leagues. Okay, so now the count, you know how the count works. Oh God, I didn't save it well. I'm supposed to save it as an Excel file. Okay. Are you there?
Yes, I am.
Cool. So the count is, we are doing a count based on condition. So remember we have counts which counts numbers. It counts numbers. Count numbers, right? Only
Yes.
numbers only. Our count A counts it counts anything, or let's say any cell rather, any cell that is not empty. So this counts cells with numbers, right?
Yes.
With numbers only. The count blank, it counts empty cells.
COUNTIF cells, yeah.
Now, good. For count if is saying count with a touch of if. So basically, the count if is basically saying count with if. So basically, it's saying count with condition. With condition. And this condition is with one condition. Our count ifs is, of course, count with multiple conditions. So basically, that is how it is. So what does that look like? I want to count the total number of people in IT departments, and we have over we have about 100 rows of data in this particular salary table. Now I want to check how many people are in marketing department. What do I do? What I can do is to say marketing, and I will then say go to my insert function. Count if is a function of its own, and you can see if you take a range, so you are going to select a range you want to do your counting on. Then you select your criteria. And my criteria here is what I want to know. I want to know what do I want to know? I want to know. Sorry, want to know number of staff in marketing department. That's what I want to know. Right. So I'll go to my insert, go to my count if, click on OK. So I have a range, I have a criteria. Now, this range that you are referring to is a dependency of the criteria. So for what you want to do, your criteria is marketing. You want to know the number of people in marketing department. Now, your marketing department, your marketing is found in which of the column? It's found in the department column. So that is where your
Yes.
range you select. So you will not come and select salary because marketing does not belong to the salary column.
Yeah.
It belongs to what
The
department
department
column. So
column.
your range is dependent on your criteria. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yes.
So we said count the number of cells within a range that meets a given condition. So I'll click on OK. Now I'm going to select my range, which is my department. Because I'm all so if you are selecting a range, always use absolute cell referencing because that's what we are doing. We are referring to a cell. And my criteria will just be marketing. So I can either type marketing, and I'm going to get the value, which is 17 as it's showing, or I can come back to my formula and do also for the criteria. I'll just do a cell referencing and I'll just click on marketing. And you can see it shows me 17. Now, let's take it a step further. We want to know per department how many staff per department. So basically, I will say, I can say department. I'll create a mini table, a summary table here. I'll say number of staff. Let's just say you are just doing your analysis. Now, how do I get my department table? I can either highlight everything here. I'll just paste it here as value. I'll go to my data. I'll remove duplicates. I don't want to expand. I want to continue with the selection. I'll remove duplicates and I'll get my duplicate value, or I'll use formula, right? I'll use the
Yes.
function called unique and I'll just select my range of values and you can see that I've gotten the same thing. So either one works, right? So
Yes.
number of staff now, I'll say insert, go to count if. I would say my range is my department, the whole of my department, and I can include the column head if I want, but I usually would not want to do that. Then
Okay.
what will be my criteria? My criteria will be, sorry?
I said okay.
Yeah, so my criteria will be each and every of these departments. I don't want to have to type it. So what I'm going to do is just to refer to it, cell referencing. And because I'm going to go down the column, I'm going to lock um, the column because the
So it
column is
doesn't
really
change.
literally not going to change. So
Yeah.
yeah, so I'll just click on. So you can see it's already returning a number. So you can see that's
Mm.
highlighted my range and giving me an output, a preview of an output. And I've put in my criteria, which is telling me that what I want is marketing. And it's already telling me 17 as you can see here.
Yes.
Then I will just click and drag. You can see that I've written just one formula or function and it has done the rest for me. Make sense?
Makes sense. Yes. Mm.
And I can then say the total number of staff alt equal to, and I say we have 100 staff. You can even go further and say percentage percentage total, right?
Yes.
And you can then say equal to, and you say this divide by this. Now because this is 100 is not going to change, right? It's all of these numbers that will change. You now do absolute cell referencing, and for this I usually will say because it's going to drag down the column, you just do relative cell referencing by locking the column. You click on OK and you just click on drag and you've gotten your percent. Then you now format it. You go to general on your home ribbon and you see this percent, you just format it and you are good. So you can
Nice.
see how you can do a summary table without having to stress yourself.
Yes.
So just to make
Nice.
it more interesting, I'll just remove grid lines and so just to make it more interesting. Now, um, um, that is one way to apply the count if. Now,
COUNTIF.
let's say I want to get the minimum salary of this, maximum and average. So I've thought average, right? I'll say equal to average. Sorry, I'll just highlight the range of values I want to do average for, and my average is 76,000. I'll say equal to minimum is mean, and I'll highlight the same thing, and maximum is max. Oh, sorry, I'm supposed to say equal to. So you can see max number, and I get my max. Now, usually the reason why I do this is because I want to know the standard deviation. How do they deviate from the mean and max usually? So I actually try to do that just to know at what percentage, or at what is the difference between the so let me just do this so you know what we are saying. So this is the minimum salary then,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Minimum salary. um I'm too lazy to start typing salaries, and so I'll just say maximum, and this will be average, right?
Average, yeah.
I usually sometimes like to, actually I just started adopting this process. The reason is because I just want to know. So the difference between this and this, let's see, between the average and the minimum. Oh, I was supposed to say minus, and I can then see between this and this. Oh, so the standard deviation is not so, it's not so bad. It's about average of 40 something thousand, which is not so bad. So this will just give me an idea of if I want to do a count of the number of people that get so I can then say I want to know the number of people that earn 55,000. I just want to know the number of people that earn 55,000. So I want to know of staff that earn 55,000 and above. So I want to know the number of staff. So anything that has to do with number, I want to know the number of, you should know that you are doing counts. Every time you have to do a number of, I want to know the number of something. How many, or if they ask you how many number of those, you should know that they are talking about count. Can you hear me? Do you understand?
Yes, I can hear you. Yes, I can.
Okay, so then let's assume I want to do that. Now, number of staff that earn 55,000 and above. So 55,000 and above. That's what I'm asking. This is basically what I'm asking, either 55 or above. Now, for me to do that, I will then go to my COUNTIF and go to COUNTIF. My range of values will be my salary range. What will be my criteria, out of curiosity? What do you think is my criteria? Basically, this will be my criteria, 55,000 and above. Wow. So I'll just say 55,000 and above. Now it's supposed to be in text format. You understand? So I'm supposed to put a double quotation mark, but it will do it for me because I'm using the prompt, or the what they call this pop-up. Yeah, so you can see it's telling me that 75 staff amongst the 100 staff earn 55,000 and above. So basically, so what it means is that 25 staff earn less than 55,000, whatever, maybe naira or dollar or pounds or euro. That's what it's just telling me. Now, let's say I want to do this variation by department. I want to know the number of staff that earn 55,000 and above by department. Now, I'm just going to copy my department here. So the question will be, so let me just keep this. Sorry, just hold on. This will be the question here, right? So this will be the question for the question. Sorry. Are you finding it much more interesting now that we're using formula?
Yes, I think so. Yes, unlike yesterday.
So question, I want to know the number of staff that earn, let's say 45K. Let's just say above 45K per department. Let's see the department that are rich people. Now, so I'm saying 45K. 45K is where? It's in the salary column, right? And I'm now saying per department, and I'm now calling department. So I want to know salary that is above 45,000 per department. So these are two conditions now, because I'll be referring to both salary and the department column. So you then use what? You then use the if statement, because those are multiple conditions. Multiple is big, above one. Now, so let me just put number of staff here. So we just going to overall just copy the format of this and paste it here because I'm too lazy. Now I'll go to my insert function. I'll look for COUNTIFs. I'll just type it, click on go, and you can see it's saying criteria range criteria. And because I have multiple, it means that it will be criteria range criteria range criteria, and so on. Say count the number of cells specified by giving sets of conditions or criteria. Click on okay. So criteria range one. So my criteria range one is you can choose anyone. I can say my criteria range one is my salary, and I'm going to lock it, and the criteria will be what? Above 45,000 for salary. Criteria range two will be by department. So my department range, which I'm going to lock, and the second criteria will be, I will just do cell referencing to the marketing, and because I'm going to click and drag down a column, I'll just lock the column alphabet by putting a dollar sign in front, and you can see it's telling me 15. So 15 staff already is showing me that 15 staff earns about 45,000 in marketing department. I'll just click on OK, and I'll just click and drag. So it's just going to give me a distribution, and I can then see 21. Finance department big boys.
That's how you do accounting. It's looking like a
interesting. Anyways, then if you want to check if this thing is true, the total number is supposed to give you 100, which is same thing here. I'll just do alt equal to. Did I highlight everything? Oh, sorry. It is not going to give you 100 because we are giving a condition of above 45, so it's not going to be 100. Many apologies. That is my mistake.
Okay.
Yeah, it is not going to give you 100 because we are saying that above 45,000. Remember, we had 75 above 55. But let's even test it with 55. Let's say 55 and above will just be equal to this. And I'm very sure we are going to get a total of 75 people. If I just click and drag, yeah, so this formula works. Does that make sense?
Yes.
If we also want to set a condition for those that the number of staff that joined after a certain date, so let's just say from 2021 or so, or let's just say 2018, we want to know the number of staff that joined from 2018 per department. So let's ask another question. We want to know the number of staff that joined the company per department. So now we are now going to use the same COUNTIFs because number of staff that joined, sorry, I didn't ask the question well, per department from 2018. Okay, good. So now 2018 is date, which is in our joining date, which belongs to our joining date column, and per department we are referring to department. And so I'm just going to basically going to copy this, paste it here, because I'm so lazy. I'm just going to remove the formulas, and I'm now going to attach a new one because, you know, sometimes I'm insufferable. So I'm going to select my department first. Again, you can select anyone. My criteria will be each and every line item here, and because I'm going to drag down, I don't need to, yeah. So the second range will just be this range, and I'm going to lock it. Now, what will be my criteria? Can you tell me? So I can do two things. I can say greater than, I think, 1st of 2018, if I remember correctly. And it's supposed to give me it's supposed to be text, so it's going to put it in text, and you can see it's already giving me a number 10. So 2018 will be January. So the first one is the month, the second one is the date. That's how Excel works, not the day, the month. So Excel is month and day, then the year. I click on OK, you see 10 staff, and I'll just click and drag. I then see I have about 71 staff. What I want to say, that's the first approach. The second approach is, I think there's a function called year, where I can get the year of this each and individual date. And you can see it's telling me year 2021, right? So I'll use the year function to just extract the year. So if I want to extract the year, extract year, I'll just say year function. I'll just say extract year. I'm teaching you another function in between, even though it is not part of it. But let me just insert, and I will just click and drag just so we can get the year. Again, I can either click and drag, I'll just double click here while my cursor is thick and dark cross, and just going to provide the year. Now, so what I can then do is to copy this. I'll say insert, and I'll just say add another function here, and I'll say let's see, sorry about that. I will say I'll just say year here, and I'll just give a range. I can see it has already convert everything instead of date to year. and I'll just say 2018. 2018 and above, right?
Yeah.
So it will be greater than or equal to 2018, and it's just going to give me. So from 2018 will be greater than, and it's going to put it in a distance for me. Oh, it did not return anything. That's interesting. Why is that? Why is that? Well, I don't know. But anyways, I don't think this will work, and I don't know why. I was thinking it will, but unfortunately it did not.
It's not.
But let me just change this to the normal 1 comma s hyphen 1 z slash 1. Yeah, let me just change it to this and just click and drag. Now let's say I want to see the total number of years somebody has spent. Again, this is beyond. I want to check total number of total years till date. Total years this person has come till date. This person has spent in the company. Now, what I can do is I can do is a function called, I think, year something. Year YEARFRAC. So it just gives you, yeah. I don't want to return the it's just giving you year fraction representing the number of whole days between. Actually don't need that. I actually want to see I would want to see just the difference, and I think if I click on OK, I would say so my start date will be this date and my end date will be, again, so if I want to get the today's date, which will be, I can use a function called today, and it will give me today's date. Do you get?
Yes. Wow.
So now I will then apply this YEARFRAC, and I will say start date will be this, end date will be, I will write my today function, and save volatile. What basis? Said basis is the type of day count basis used. I don't know. Let me click on OK. So I can see that between 2020, we're in 2025. Is that true? Let me see. Let's see, equal to this minus this. Let's see. And I'll just divide it by 365 days. Again, this is just an approximate. Oh, it is true. 365 days. Yeah, so it is true. Then I can then decide to reduce or increase the number by, let's say 3.6 years, and I can then click and drag, so you then be able to get the total number of so this person is 2024, so barely 1 year, because I'm using years, which is why. And again, I can decide to reduce the decimal to 0. I don't know what the basis does. So yeah, but let me see what it does. I'm curious now. Equal to YEARFRAC, and I will see the options it has given me. Oh, so it say, oh, sorry. I want to see. Okay. Let me see this. What does this do? Let me select this. Let's see, comma. I'm gonna select this, comma. Let me. So okay. There is 365 days a year. Oh, I can see. So I think I'm going to select 3 and let's see what's going to happen. Oh, I was curious to see what it does. Oh, which is cute. So it gave me the same thing as you. Oh, I see what that does. Um, um, you are saying why?
No, I was laughing.
Why?
Okay.
So
This
you
looks like a film.
yeah
So,
okay, so do you know where I learned the year frac? I learned it
no.
in a particular I never used it in Excel before,
Oh, really?
just
It's
so
your
you know.
first time?
Yes, this is my first time using it. I
Wow.
learned it in a different tool I was
Oh,
using to
wow.
build I was using to build a data collection tool. Actually learned it. Very interesting stuff.
Oh, wow.
It's called Activity Info, and they have, let me see. I think my account is still active. I'm assuming it is active. Yeah, so they say my trial is in 12 days. Oh,
Mm.
you won't be able, I'll just delete it. So let me show you something. Let me see if I can. Oh no, sorry. Hold
Mm.
on. This is out of the point, but it's still good I show you some nice stuff. Then go to formula. So the F frac is somewhere here. As it. So they have text join. So if you know Excel very well, this particular tool is very easy to use. They have police.
Mm.
And so this is for year. So the year frac does the same thing. And so they built this tool based on spreadsheet.
Okay.
Yeah, so if I click on this, the year frac, it takes me to start date, end date. It doesn't even have basis, but this is where I learned how to use the year frac. And I decided, oh, let me just teach it, being that I saw it there. So pretty interesting.
Yes.
What else? So I'm just trying to, let's see. I'm just trying to bring meaning out of what we are learning. So you see how analysis actually come to life.
Mm. Yeah.
So you better appreciate how people make decision, and you be like, how did this person make decision? And person that I made decision based on data, and especially where you are, right?
Yes.
Data is like a tool there that people use a lot. So it's something you should. So this is how people poke on data, make decisions, get insights, and not what you see everywhere on LinkedIn and everybody is just bombarding you. I mean, you can see this firsthand on, how you do summary sheets. You wonder how this person generate this stuff. Yeah, this basically how you actually do with the small formulas that you know.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Interesting.
Does that make sense? Is it
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
good?
Data
And
analysis.
so don't sorry.
Nothing.
So don't be surprised when people do some stuff like, oh, how did this person get to do this? Basically, just the small functions and how to apply it. It's just best knowing how to apply it. So you see all of these questions, right? You can see that I didn't plan, so I don't do a lot of rehearsals. It just come off the top of my head. Uh, I think we can
Mm.
ask this question. I think we can ask that question, and that's cause experience, right? And I don't have a
Yes.
lot of it. It's just that personally, I know how to. I love problems.
Mm-hmm.
Anything that will cause problem, you see me there. So, and that's because I kind of it has helped me to learn how to solve problems.
Mm-hmm.
Cooking, so it's not one many things. It's not one plenty magic. If I start asking questions myself, I'm generating questions. The company don't have to ask me questions. So I go,
Questions,
okay,
yeah.
let's look for this. Let's look for this. And I don't work in HR department, so how would I even know the questions they're asking, right? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
So basically, at least we have added some new stuff here, and I would advise that so you can actually do some other questions and ask questions, right?
Yes.
So if I want to extract the month from this date, I will just say month. So I can just say month employed. The month that this person was employed, and maybe you want to use it for some analysis, just to check in the month of the year, how, when is the time that people usually the company usually apply, they are used to take in new staff the most, for some weird reason. Maybe you just want to know that. So there's the month, and there's the month function, and so it have month January to December serial number. I'll just highlight this, and so I can get the month. So I can either do it once, or I really don't like using the range. I'll just click and drag, and so you can look at it. So this is 12, this is this, this is this, like that, like that.
Oh, nice.
So
Nice.
I don't know if there is okay, just serial numbers. And I think if I'm not, let me see if I can get the month. Oh, end of month. What does it do? Sorry, what does it
End of
do?
month. Wow. There's everything on
Oh,
I have everything on this Excel. Basically everything.
yeah, I think. What does this do?
Start dates, month.
Oh, end of month. Oh, I don't think this works. I was looking at month name.
Okay.
This doesn't do that. And so let's say I want to get the month name. What do I do? I can just say month name,
Awesome.
and I will now use. What do I use? I'll just say function. I'll
Function
use
equals to
ifs because I'm too lazy. I'll
9.
say if this is 1, it will be January. If the same thing is 2, it's February. Makes sense.
Yes.
I then see how you can use your. So if the same is 3,
3.
is March.
March.
You can do it in other tools easily, but this is Excel. I think it's April. H2 is 5. That'll be May. H2 is 6. That will be June. Oh, sorry, I'm not done. No. Yeah. My, okay. Let me use tab. Oh, so I forgot to write the 2. So H2 is 7. That will be July, right? H2 equal 8. That will be August. That's interesting. I want to teach you something again. H2 equal to 9. That will be September. H2 equal to 10. That will be October. Right. October. H2 is 11. That will be November.
November.
Then the last one.
H2
That will be
December.
December. I didn't type my December well, but you know. let's assume I didn't even type it myself. I'll click on OK. And I can see that I have September. I didn't even type it wrong. So let me just say September. And it's September. And I'll just double click and I'll see December. So you see December is in small letter. Let's
Yeah.
assume I want to correct it. I'll just say month name. I would say equal to upper. Now proper. Proper is a function that converts a text to a proper noun. A proper noun is something that starts with a capital letter, right? So you see that
Yeah.
December will also correct itself. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Sorry, please just give me a moment. Let me respond to this
Right.
call.
Okay.
Sorry, can you just give me 2 minutes,
Okay.
please?
Okay. That's fine.
Yeah. Sorry about that.
It's fine.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Oh, sorry.
Okay.
I many apologies for that. So,
It's all right.
something a text to proper. If I want to change it to the uppercasing, let's say I even want to change it to uppercase, I'll say equal to upper. I will refer to the text. So let me even start from my month name will be upper, and I'll just click and drag, and everything will be in caps. If I want to change everything to lower, I'll just say equal to lowercase. I'll just refer to my text. You can see month name, and I'll just click and drag, and everything is lower. Do certain abbreviations now, and let's just say I want to do abbreviations like that. So I can accept, and what I'm then going to do is to do Control E, and you can see it will start helping me correct. Now I just want to, okay, so December and corrections, and I'm able to enter and so on. And so for June, I can see June, I'll say May. That's not what, this is weird. Okay, I don't know why it is not working. So for May, I'll say May, and October, I'll say something like this. And then I can say Control E again, and oh, sorry, Control E, and it is going to pattern for me and help me correct it. And so the Control E, which is a flash fill, you remember our application of flash fills. So I don't know, it's taking a lot of time to compute, slowing down my PC. So I'm just trying to show you, other than our functions for today, some useful functions you can actually use to, make your life easy while trying to do certain analysis. I don't know if you get that point. Hello?
Yes, my mic was muted. Sorry.
Yeah. Really so you can see how I've
Sorry, the
applied
line is
functions
breaking. It's breaking.
for these.
It's breaking so bad.
I for
So I
our
can't hear
network in
you.
this question. Okay, so thanks. What up now? Can you hear me?
No, it's still breaking.
What weird network did I got now? What up now? Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Is it clear?
No, it's still
So basically
breaking.
what I was just trying to show you is different. Oh, let me sorry about that. Can you hear me now?
Okay. Yes, I can hear you.
Cool. So I think it's still recording. So basically just showing you how you can use different functions to solve different problems. And so I introduced so the ifs we already know. I introduced the year and the YEARFRAC. Um, I also introduced extraction of year, month. So these are just tips and pieces of functions I actually added so that um,
Yeah.
diverted it to just to show you that there are functions like this you can use to do certain
That
things.
is a still.
No,
Yeah.
it's not the main goal. It's not really our target, but I feel there is need for me to introduce this. Again, you've got into a different, at this particular point, yeah, I feel you are an intermediate level for using Microsoft Excel for any kind of analysis. And so I will be introducing certain things like this as time goes on, just tips and pieces of, because again, at the end of the day, um, the goal is actually to solve problems. So most likely I'll introduce you to new functions you are not aware of just so that we can
Okay.
get certain things done. Make sense?
Yes, makes sense. Makes sense.
Any question?
All right. I'd like to ask, I don't know if you've answered it. So I want to ask, how does COUNTIFs differ from COUNTIF?
I told you one is one condition. Okay, yeah.
Okay, count
Count
with
with
one
one
condition.
condition, count
Okay,
with
with multiple
multiple
conditions.
conditions. So if you have, and I think I gave examples of how you
Yes.
can use it. So you can see the kind of question, number of staff that earn above 45K per department. So I'm saying 45K, which is the salary column, and department, which is department column. That is two conditions. So that is multiple. But if you say number of staff per department, that is one condition because you are talking about department alone. The same thing with the dates per department. A staff joined from 2018. You want to do a count
Yeah,
from
okay.
2018. So you are talking about dates and you're talking about department. And you can
Department.
add multiple, far much more than that. I think in the next session, we're actually going to see how we can apply to like 4 or 5 different criteria, I think.
Okay, all right.
And I also send you, I have one very hot listen I gave somebody. I think I'll also send it to you so that you take a look at it.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Okay, and again, does any error occur when using a COUNTIF? And how can it be fixed if there's an error? Maybe when I'm using COUNTIF and there's
So you generally make error in Excel, especially writing function. And if an error occurs, it's either the condition is not being satisfied or you are writing the wrong thing. So as to how you solve it depends on what kind of mistake you make. However, if you make any mistake, you can let me know and I'll tell you what to do.
okay, noted.
But off the top of my head, I will not be able to answer that question. There are
Okay.
no, like, it's not like a strict guideline, like a strict rule to this issue. What I can say is that when you encounter a problem, just let me know and I'll try and fix it for you. But until then, so usually I wouldn't like to solve a problem that has not come.
Okay. Okay.
But basically, you are trying to you want me to solve a problem that hasn't existed yet. So I won't be able to do that unless I see that problem. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yes. 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 It makes sense.
Okay,
All
cool,
right.
cool. I know the also add one more tool, but I think I'll do this in the later time. Basically, it's a function called left, and I will select a text and I will say number of characters from the left I want to get. So I can say 4 characters and it's going to return set. But the problem is if I go to something like May, it's going to show me May, and Octo is going to show me Octo, and I don't want to do that. You understand? There
Yeah.
are other there are other ways we can go about it, but it's a very, very long process. And the same thing with right. If you use right equal to right, if you start from right and you give it the number of characters you want from the right, I'll say 5 characters. So it's going to start from right and give you. So I have Temba. So if I click and drag, it will have problem with May to show me May and stuff like that. There's nothing beyond that. October, you can see there's no O and so on and so forth. So yeah,
All right.
you wouldn't understand what that is until maybe I want to employ the. So look at let's say I want to get the numbers from this employee ID, right? Just the
Yeah.
numbers. So what I can do is I'll say equal to left. I know emp is what? Emp is the constant, right? So I'll say this, I'll remove this, and I'll just say from 4. No, number of character from the right. Sorry, I just need or yeah,
Right.
number of characters from the right. So I just need this and only 3. And you can see I've gotten the ID. They asked me one question, or you said consultancy I wanted to do, and I just did this. I was surprised I even got the so anyway. So and if I want to get the only alphabet, I'll just say left. I'll say just 3 characters and I'll get it. Make sense?
Yes.
Anywho, you don't
Nothing.
have any questions.
No.
I
So
bid you farewell for now. Sorry. You want to say something?
there's the first practical we did. You said there's one assignment for me, right? The first one that you wrote, try this. So did you save it?
Yeah, I said I'll send. Just check the file
Okay.
on Google. You
Oh,
see it.
all right. So
So how are you enjoying it so far? Let me stop recording.
okay.
So what's your experience so far? How are you enjoying
Oh my
the software
God.
so far?